Today we're speaking with Ivis Febus-Sampayo, Director of LatinaSHARE at SHARE, Self-Help for Women with Breast or Ovarian Cancer. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Would you give us some background on LatinaSHARE, why it was important to have a branch of SHARE specifically for Latinas?
Well, the organization SHARE, Self-Help for Women with Breast Ovarian Cancer, was started over 33 years ago. And a Latina called Alex Colon attended and received services at SHARE. She was part of a support group, and she realized about the importance of helping her community. So about 18 years ago, we started the LatinaSHARE program, specifically to help Latinas dealing with breast ovarian cancer. And we make sure that it's very cultural sensitive, that the women receive the information they need in their language.
What cultural challenges do Latina women face when they're diagnosed with cancer, and does it make a difference where they're from?
Many have a lot of challenges. First and foremost, the language. Others, financial issues, documentation, trust, fear. And we try to address that within the LatinaSHARE program by providing support, providing help through our hotline, through the support groups, and also educational programs that help them understand that they're part of this process and their voices need to be heard.
How can clinicians best serve the Latina community with cancer? What's your advice to oncologists and clinicians?
I have a long list, but let's just say one of the issues is, again, the trust issue. Having them understand that this is your patient, that just because she doesn't speak English doesn't necessarily mean she's ignorant, and you have to respond to that. Understand that she may be frightened to ask you questions, and first and foremost, make sure you have someone there who translates, and do not, under any circumstance, use a family member or a child or a staff member that just happens to speak Spanish. You need to make sure that you respect this patient. She has values too, and she has lots of questions. She doesn't understand what is happening to her. Keep in mind that she may have her family in another country, so she may not have the regular support services. And of course, to be able to provide resources for these women that have many issues and problems happening at the same time. Sometimes breast cancer is just the top of the iceberg. So reach out to organizations like ours, reach out to LatinaSHARE. We can help you. We've been there.
Would you explain the need for advocates in cancer research and what advocates can do to continue the advancement towards cures?
Well, it's very important that our voices are heard. We are the faces of survivorship. We're the ones that keep the doctors and the researchers focused, understand that this is a whole woman. This is not a cancer cell. This is not a woman who has cancer. This is Ivis, who is the survivor of breast cancer, who has young children when she was diagnosed. These are issues that we keep at the front. The other issue is that sometimes there's complications because of the fact that the researcher may be interested in writing a specific journal or on his research, and having a trained advocate like the ones that we have through the National Breast Cancer Coalition, and SHARE participates and sends a large amount of advocates to train, to understand the science of breast cancer, and to come back with questions that will steer the researchers and the doctors in the right direction.
What are your long-term goals for augmenting the Latina advocacy community?
I have quite a few, so we don't have all day, so I'll just name a few. One of the issues is, again, the idea of having people understand that this is a community that has many needs, but also that they too can become empowered, educated, supported, that their voices need to be heard. We have women involved in the advocacy trainings where they go to the National Breast Cancer Coalition. We have their voices heard in the support groups, out in the community. We want to change the community, empower them, give them the voice that they need to be heard. For example, one of the issues that we saw in the Latino community, that there were lots of myths. Women thought if they were diagnosed with breast cancer, they were going to die right away. If they cut into my breast, I'm going to lose the whole breast or the cancer will spread. So we decided to provide a novel educational tool, which is a novela. It is a story of two sisters and one is diagnosed. Within there, we break some of the myths that are known in the community, and we also provide resources. It's a beautiful novella that has a comic book style and has information in their language in lay terms, And once again, it breaks a lot of the myths. Why? Because once we start breaking the myths, it gets carried on into the community, and that's where change occurs. That's where the women's voices are truly heard, because they bring it back. One of the other aspects is something that's very exciting. The National Breast Cancer Coalition just recently started a campaign, Breast Cancer Deadline 2020. And this is so important because we have Latinas involved, we have all women involved in this. Why? We need to find the cure. We're giving it 10 years. Why? Because we have the urgency, we have the tenacity, we have the focus. We know what it's like to go through this disease, and we need to end it. We need to make sure that no other woman deals with breast cancer. And we need to make sure that during the time that women are receiving treatment, there is good quality of life, there's support, there's education. Because I will tell you, when I first came to SHARE and to the National Breast Cancer Coalition, and I heard Fran Visco speaking about the importance of our getting involved, my hair was just growing in. And although I'm bilingual and bicultural, I still felt lost because you don't feel the control once you're diagnosed with breast cancer. And I realized that my voice did count. I quickly became involved, and now I'm one of the board members on the National Breast Cancer Coalition, and I'm able to bring the Spanish flavor into it so that people can understand that we're all in this together. You know, breast cancer is not prejudice. Anyone can get breast cancer. We need to work together. And I've always said, if you put all the fuel and the fire of the breast cancer survivors together, we definitely find the cure for breast cancer. So I'd like everyone who's listening today to join the National Breast Cancer Coalition, to join SHARE and LatinaSHARE's program, to make a difference, to become involved, have your voices heard, and do what you need to do to make sure that we do end breast cancer. Join our campaign.
Ivis Febus-Sampayo, thank you so much. And for more information on SHARE, you can call 866-891-2392. Thank you.
Thank you.